We always thought alien life would come from the stars. But it came from deep beneath the Pacific.
What the hell is going on?
The first kaiju made land in San Francisco. The second attack hit Manila. And then the third one hit Cabo. And then we learned this was not gonna stop. In order to fight monsters, we created monsters of our own.
You know, I think every great apocalyptic movie has to have that great apocalyptic speech, and Idris does it an amazing one. So I was wondering if the world were ending right now, and we all in this room needed inspiration, and I asked you guys to step up and give that speech, what would your speech sound like? How would you do it?
Guys, we had our shot, we had our time, and we screwed it up. Bottoms up.
Yeah,
So I have my
man,
own?
you gotta stand straight, you know? You gotta take deep breaths in between sentences so you mean it, and then you have to look each one of those soldiers in the eye. Look at them. Make each word land. Give it a go, give it a go.
You give me some lines so I can...
Say today,
Today,
at the edge of our hope,
the edge of all hope,
at the edge of our time,
the edge of our time.
we've chosen to
We've chosen
to look at each other
to look at each other
and face the monsters that are at our door.
face the monsters that are at our door.
Okay, and today we are
And today we are
canceling
canceling
the apocalypse.
the apocalypse.
That was not bad. You gotta work on it a little bit. It's good.
Right?
I got
Good,
chills,
yeah.
bro. I would follow you
Right to the...
to war.
I think it's the shirt that would
Right.
make me follow you, man.
Right.
We needed a new weapon. The Jaeger program was born. Two pilots, our minds, our memories, connected. And man and machine become one.
I know that growing up, you were obviously as a kid very much inspired by the monster movies and everything. So I was wondering if you could imagine yourself as a kid watching Pacific Rim. What do you think you would have said, and what in this movie do you think would have inspired you?
If I was 12 when I watched Pacific Rim, my head would explode. And they would need to carry me out of the theater screaming, you know? I adored this movie with the heart of a 12-year-old, and I made it with that heart. And I wanted to make it about spectacle, but also about humanity. And for the movie to feel, is the lightest movie I've made, but at the same time is very humanistic, very beautiful heart at the center, and an incredible love for robots and monsters.
Mm-hmm. And I love that so many of the kaiju are inspired by, one maybe like a silverback gorilla, or one kind of has like the axe head and everything.
Yeah.
If for Pacific Rim 2 you were going to make a Jake kaiju, what would that kaiju look like?
It would attack a really great clothing store. That's all I know, and a hair salon, in that order.
A very dangerous kaiju, Mr. Del Toro.
Very dangerous.
So this is
It
happening.
would walk with thousands of dollars of merchandise.
I like this. So this is good. I can expect this. I'm very well dressed kaiju.
We'll do our best, man.
Okay, fair enough. I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to it.
And El Toro Kaiju would attack a taco stand.
One of the things I love about the human element of this movie is you got to have that pilot to pilot connection if you're gonna work with the Jaeger. So I was wondering, who would you be most compatible with in this world? If you're gonna look over and you're gonna look at your co-pilot, who would be that person that you would say, you know what, this is gonna work?
You, hey, do this.
What? I'm sitting
Do
right
this.
here.
Do this. Oh, we're drifting.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
Jake
Oh, wow. Amazing.
That's deep.
Jake and
What?
Idris.
That was deep.
That you see, you and I.
It's one of the things that in the film we create. One of the really original, beautiful things that Guillermo created was this idea that you needed to have a co-pilot because this machine is just too big for one person to run themselves. And one of the most compatible things is family. You know, you have fathers and sons and brothers piloting these things. And I gotta say, if I was gonna go to war, I'd go with my big brother because
Nice.
he's the man. You know, he's been watching my back since day one. So.
Groucho Marx.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because, it would be fun.
I would pay to see that. I'd pay big money to see that.
Buddy, you're not gonna answer your wife? You're not gonna answer your wife? Really?
Where does this air?
In Houston.
Yeah, no,
Okay, she
I'm
is
thinking
gonna
I'm-
get
You're-
a
you're
hold
good?
of
I think I'm
this,
safe.
No
and there
plans
is
to
gonna
come through
be
Houston
hell
anytime
back.
soon.
My wife, I got family in Texas. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding
Good
me?
answer, man. Good answer.
Today, at the edge of our hope. At the end of our time, we've chosen to believe in each other. Today we face the monsters that are at our door. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
And one of the themes that I love that it explores is sort of that battle between analog and digital, old school versus new school. And I was wondering, what is an old school element of filmmaking, maybe an analog element of filmmaking that you still hold on to, that you still feel the need to do?
One of the most analog things in filmmaking is to keep building sets that are real, not making just digital sets. And the movie has the most amazing sets constructed that are inspired by real machines, by real objects, by real places. But we built entire blocks of Hong Kong, entire streets of Tokyo, and we demolished them for real. And we built parts of the robots for real and work with them. So that's an analog part. The other one is using miniatures, for example, and we use miniatures in the movie to convey the sense of physicality. So that's analog. And everything else about movie making is still analog.
And one of the things that I felt like I noticed that you did as a director, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you purposely put in flaws. Like there's one point where like the camera was like trying to find the Jaeger. There's one point where like there was water on the lens. There was some frost a little bit when they were up. Is it important to find realistic flaws in an inherently unrealistic environment?
Yes. I think that the greatest thing to make something real is to put defects on it. So, for example, the robots are, the paint is chipping. They are rusting. There are pieces missing. They're dented. That tells you it's real. When you see a real lion in the jungle, you see a lion that has scars, has a chunk missing, an ear is a little chewed. There are details that make it real, and we feel the movie with the details like that.
Obviously I'm sure you were presented with so many different problems and obstacles to overcome whenever we're making a movie like this. I was wondering, what was the first problem that you were faced when you came into this, and what was the last one, and which one was harder to get over?
Well, the first one was the idea that we needed to design the robots for real, because you can pose a robot in an illustration, but then when that robot needs to move differently, the plates, the hard plates in the animation break each other. So we need to solve the mechanical for real. Even if we're not making the robots for real, we need to solve all the mechanics so that they really can move. That was a big problem. And the last problem was actually the 3D conversion of the film. I wanted the movie to be a great 3D experience. I didn't want people to come out saying it doesn't look great.
Because you're not a fan of 3D conversions.
I wasn't, and now I am. I am a huge fan. The one that converted was me, not the movie. And I think the best way to see the movie is 3D, but we spent twice the money, twice the time that a movie normally spends getting to 3D.
Absolutely. Mr. Del Toro, I've been told that you're a hugger.
Yeah,
I,
man.
too, am a hugger.
Do it.
Bring it in. Bring it in for the real thing. An honor, my friend. Thank you. Things I love about this movie is it like the inner 10-year-old in me was like giving me high fives the whole movie. And I take that. I mean that as a compliment. So I was wondering, when you're an actor, where is that moment where like you need to like step up and be an adult and like remember what it means to be an adult, and then where is that moment where like you need to remind yourself what it means to be a 10-year-old kid?
That's interesting. I think it's a little bit of both. I think in the preparation, you got to be an adult. You got to do a lot of work and show up on set and be ready to rock and roll. And then when you get to set, you throw it all away and you try to operate from that place of pure joy and excitement about filmmaking.
Right.
Especially like in the emotional scenes, right? You're acting, of course you're acting, but as an actor, there's only a part of you that's aware, like, oh, what's this gonna look like on the movies? And what would I be doing if I was in my bathroom right now? Because when I'm in my bathroom doing my lines, man, it just exactly, that's where the
Right.
big kid comes at you, like I remember doing the cod pot scene, this big emotional moment, and there's fire and there's rain, and I have to look up into the camera and speak to someone for a moment, and I know how this moment's gonna play in a movie,
Right.
and it feels like being a big kid again, sort of being given all the tools to have your moment in the movies. It's great.
The second take is usually when the director walks over and says, "That was really bad, man. That was really bad. Why don't you goddamn man up and do it like an adult?" That's usually when I change my game.
Right. So
Yeah.
so the second take is the man up and
The
being
first
adult.
take is the 10-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm still waiting for the time in my life where I stop sounding like a 10-year-old kid. I think that I'm looking forward to that. So
but
all
then-
my takes start through a 10-year-old.
I'm coming over for a hug. I don't care if you guys are huggers or not. I'm bringing it over.
Bring it, baby.
Come on, man.
This is how we say hello in Houston. We bring it over for a hug. There you go.
There you go.
You guys
I
smell it,
hope
right?
you got that.
It is pretty cool.
Pacific Rim.